Friends, taxpayers across the country are receiving a number of notices for blocking of input tax credit invoking Rule 86 capital A of the CGST Rules 2017. In many instances, we have seen that even notices are not received by the taxpayers, and when they go to file the returns, they see that input tax credit is blocked and they are forced to pay the GST through cash ledger. This Rule 86A is being contested and notices thereon are being contested in various high courts across the country. In this video, we'll discuss on the legal backdrop of Rule 86A, and in case you get a notice under 86A, what can be your arguments in your support against such notice and blocking of input tax credit. Also, we will discuss on what are the defense mechanisms in case of a notice for a difference between GSTR 2A and 3B. So first, the Honorable Gujarat High Court, if you remember in December 2020, had laid down their concern on the wide ambit of Rule 86A and subsequent blocking of input tax credit. Now, the same High Court in the case of Mili Enterprises has also issued notices to the government observing that at least the reason why the input tax credit is being blocked should be specified in a notice of Rule 86A. So this is a very important point, and also the Rule 86A itself specifies that the department should have reason to believe that there is an input tax credit which has been availed fraudulently or an ineligible input tax credit has been availed by the taxpayer to take this step of blocking of input tax credit. Therefore, the Gujarat High Court has observed as such. Next, the Honorable High Court of Karnataka in the case of Aryan Trade Link has quashed a notice and blocking of input tax credit under Rule 86A, whereby the credit was blocked for more than 1 year. Rule 86A does not empower the department to block the credit for more than 1 year. They have to unblock the credit even if the assessment has not been taken place or not completed within a period of 1 year. A public sector undertaking, Bharat Aluminium Company Limited, BALCO, had contested the blocking of input tax credit or the requirement of reversal of input tax credit in case of mismatch between GSTR 2A and GSTR 3B. Friends, very recently we have discussed in another video which you will find on our channel, the Honorable High Court of Madras in the case of DY Bethel Enterprises had observed that the department cannot come directly to the recipient and ask them to reverse the input tax credit. The input tax credit in case of a GSTR 2A and 3B matched can be asked to be reversed only in exceptional circumstances like the supplier is missing, the supplier has closed down his business, or the supplier is found to be non-existent. The same was even held in the press release dated 4th May 2018. So directly the department cannot come to the recipient who is a bona fide recipient to reverse the input tax credit. A notice has been issued by the Honorable High Court of Chhattisgarh in this case. So this is the backdrop and the legal framework which is going on across the country. And now even the Calcutta High Court in the case of Messrs. Realty Private Limited has issued the notice whereby in a writ petition, the wires of Rule 86 capital A was also challenged in the writ petition, and it was prayed to read down section 16(2) small c, whereby input tax credit is disallowed when the tax relating to a transaction is not paid to the government. So in this backdrop, in case a notice under Rule 86A is received, it has to be contested on various grounds. Number one, in case the notice does not specify the reason, it should be prayed that the reason for blocking of input tax credit should be provided by the department, as Rule 86A itself states that the department should have reason to believe that a fraudulent or ineligible ITC has been availed. Next, the Honorable High Court's decision in the case of D.Y. Bethel Enterprises may be invoked, whereby while the press note dated 4th May 2018, the department has to go to the supplier and the department has to summon the supplier first before coming to the recipient and asking the recipient to reverse the input tax credit. Next, not only the press release and the Madras High Court's decision, Section 42 clause 3 itself states that the department has to go to both the recipient as well as the supplier in case of a mismatch between 2A and 3B. The word both in section 42(3) is relevant. The department cannot come only to the recipient and ask them to reverse the input tax credit. Even the Honorable High Court of Madras in the case of D.Y. Bethel has held that the supplier in that case, that is Charles and his wife Shanti, they must be interrogated by the department before coming to the recipient and asking them to reverse the input tax credit. So friends, these can be the various grounds on which the notices under 86A can be argued if the facts of the case are as such. The Kerala High Court, White Circular 4/2021, has laid down a standard operating procedure for blocking of input tax credit. Two important points in the circular with the SOP for blocking of input tax credit are: number one, the taxpayer should be intimated that the input tax credit has to be blocked. So without intimating the taxpayer, the input tax credit cannot be blocked by the department, and in case the taxpayer represents against the blocking of input tax credit, then within 15 days such representations have to be disposed of by the department. And last, the blocking of input tax credit should be used as an emergency provision only and should not be used as an alternative to issuing show cause notices and assessing the case. So friends, this blocking of input tax credit would be contested a long way going forward, as we had first observed around 6 to 7 months back that this is a wide power given in the hands of the adjudicating authorities, and in case they are used more frequently than desired, then it would cause real financial hardship to the assessees and may be contested. Let us wait and watch how this litigation in Rule 86A goes forward, and we'll come out in future with further videos explaining the way this litigation goes forward. Thank you very much.